True to New York Sports, what is going on? Episode number 24 of Sports Talk with Boogie and Lou. Boogie, what is going on, my brother?
What's going on, man? Another week.
Another
a lot of stuff
week,
to talk about.
A lot of stuff to talk about. I don't even know where to really begin with the amount of stuff that we actually have to talk about today, because literally everything started happening on a Tuesday when these Deshaun Watson allegations came out, and now we have two unbelievable endings from the Knicks, and now Kyrie Irving is out again, and it happens to be his birthday week, and it's family matters, and we have tons of stuff to talk about today, Boog. And
so let's get right into it. Then.
Let's get right into it. Deshaun Watson last Tuesday, allegations against. Hello, Bill. Good evening. Deshaun Watson has allegations against him, sexual allegations that women are coming out saying that he is, sexually harassing these women, and the number keeps getting higher and higher. Right?
I think it's like 22 now.
Right. So Boogie, tell me your take on this whole thing. How do you feel about this whole thing right now?
Yo, man, this is probably one of the most roughest situations to even comment on at the moment, just because that it's such a sensitive matter, especially when it comes to women abuse and stuff like that. Like it's hard to even like to make any type of assumptions before knowing the facts, because the actual facts is actually like what you have to go on, because once you start speculating, then it becomes a debate on right and wrong and stuff like that. Because I mean, look how it looks on the outside. Like on the outside, just on quick thinking about it, like the dude was trying to get out from the Texans, and now all of a sudden allegations start dropping. Now,
yo, Steele,
huh?
No, sorry. I was responding to Steele. He goes, "It's gonna be a long day for me because he joined the channel."
Oh yeah,
right.
But yo, check this out, man. It's like the guy has a reputation of being a good guy, right? Now the guy wants to get out of the Texans. Now all of a sudden, there's allegations against him. So bad that now the number keeps rising. Like as the day goes, as the days go, the number's rising. So now it's like, all right, like now it kind of questions whether he's innocent or not, because it puts you in a situation to say, like, is every single woman lying here? You know what I'm saying? Because it's all civil suits. None of these is criminal suits that's going for right now. It's all for money. So, but then again, like you have to look at it at both ends of the spectrum. Like, is he lying, or are they lying, or is he lying? It's hard to even put a finger on it, man. It's too much speculation to me.
No. Listen, here's the thing with this whole thing. So Deshaun Watson, like you said, has he's known as the good guy of like a good guy in football, right? Yeah. And this would be more believable to me, quite honestly, if it was only like one or two people, right? Now all of a sudden the numbers just keep on rising and rising as he wants, like you said, as he wants to leave Houston. And it's just, I don't know, man. I have to see the facts first. I'm not believing anything until I see more information.
Also rough too, because he could have just paid these people off, and then we probably wouldn't even have heard much about it. But the fact that he's really saying that I didn't do it, I'm not paying him a dime. Now, I mean, obviously he knew that this was going to be in public eye. So I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's his way of saying that I'm totally innocent. I don't know, Right.
No, I know. He's listen,
that way it feels like he can get away with it.
If he's really like going for the I'm innocent role, like legit innocent, he's got to play this the whole time forward, because if it comes out that he was lying and it actually did happen, it's going to ruin his whole legacy.
Yeah. It might ruin his career, period.
It might even ruin his career. So, and again, he's a great football player. And I don't want to see anything happening to him. I don't want to, I would love to see him land successfully somewhere else that's not in Houston, because he's unhappy there. I mean, nobody wants to play for a team that they're unhappy with, right? Oh crap. So I hope that things do work out for him. And I really hope that all these things are bogus, because I kind of feel bad for the dude, especially if it's not true.
And especially, like, look at what happens now. All these teams that wanted him now, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen? You know, like look at a team like the Jets. Like, the Jets definitely need a quarterback like that. But now, will they come under fire if they even try to sign him or get him once everything is over with? You know what I'm saying? Depending on what direction these whole allegations even go.
Well, here's the thing too. And Joe, how do you say Luke Shield, the bowler? Joe, what's his name?
Joe LaCole.
Joe LaCole. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know I'm horrible with names. He actually asked me a question on our page, and he said, if I'm an owner, would I still go after Deshaun Watson? And I think as of right now, every team has got to kind of put a hold on this whole situation, because because if it comes out that he did indeed do things with these women, you can't sign him, because first off, the NFL is probably going to ban him for at least a year, and he's going to get dropped from the Texans officially, not get that guaranteed money with that contract he has. I think everything's going to it's a very, very, very tough situation. So we're just gonna have to wait it out. That's all it's going to be. We're just going to have to wait it out.
All right, so since we're in the football talks, there's been a lot of signings going on, a lot of free agency movement. How do you feel about the Jets? The Jets team, who had all the money in the world to sign whoever they wanted to, right?
Right.
One of their big signings, Corey Davis from the Titans, a guy, in my opinion, he was drafted high. He had a disappointing career at the beginning. Last year, a nice team was built around him. He was the number 2 wide receiver. Ryan Tannehill's and the running back situation, like everything was falling into place offensively for them. So he looked really good. Now you put him in a situation where he's going to be a number 1 receiver on the Jets with a question mark at the quarterback position. What do you think? Like, how do you feel about this move that the Jets made?
So listen, there wasn't many wide receivers available, to be quite honest, in the free agency, right? There wasn't that many. Corey Davis getting $11 million a year, in my opinion, is not that bad. He's not a bad football player. If you look at his stats, it doesn't show that, but he was a great number 2 to A.J. Brown this year. And I know that he's technically going to be the number 1, but
that's what I'm saying. But that's a huge role difference, though, bro. Like, and especially in an organization where their offense is not even set up properly, is he a game changer?
I wouldn't say he's a game changer.
But this is the thing. Like, the Jets are in a situation where they got all this money, and they felt that, I guess they felt Golladay was too expensive for them, so they went for the next best thing, Corey Davis, who hasn't proven to be a consistent wide receiver, and then making him a number 1 on top of that.
Right.
You know, that's the thing. And then looking at their other signings, to be honest with you, it looks like they're more going for defense than they are offense. And to me, offensively, they really had a real problem on offense.
They had a lot of trouble on offense last year, and I think they got shut out 2 or 3 times last year.
Thanks.
So actually, I'm going to tell you guys too, I have an inside source from a lawyer friend of mine who works for a sports agency actually say that Sam Darnold will not be a Jet this upcoming season. And the reason for that is that he's going to be getting a big contract, or a decent sized contract, the following year, because he's going to be officially done with his rookie contract, that the Jets are going to want to get rid of him ASAP. So as much as I would like to see Sam Darnold succeed in New York, listen, I'm going to take upon the sources and say that Sam Darnold is not going to be a Jet next season. He's going to be playing somewhere else.
Well, looks like we heard it here first, huh?
You heard it here first. Sam Darnold.
Let's see how
going to be a Jet,
guys, because he's sticking his neck out here and making this type of prediction. So let's see what happens.
I am.
Now, with that being said, let's say he's not going to be the quarterback. Then who would fill that void? Who do they have? That's the thing. Like, I'm assuming that they're going to draft whatever quarterback they're going to go after, and they just going to throw him right into the fire. Apparently,
that's what I'm looking. Well, I know. Or do you trade?
But still, even though you're saying there's plenty of receivers in the draft, but we're talking about a Jet situation where you guys need, like, you guys need the, like, guaranteed players, bro. Like, not, I hope he, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had all this, you did all this work to get all this money, right? This is the time to build. Like, this is your opportunity to create and build a team. And if you're going to just rely on just the draft, it looks like you're still rebuilding to me, like, in the long way too. Not like, you know, like a little short, let me pick up some guys that said need, like a quarterback. Yeah, of course you look for a franchise quarterback, but now you're talking about franchise quarterback, receiver, what, running back, like you're going, your whole offensive line, you know, like you need work. Like I said, free agency looks like they're trying to touch up on the defense, but like you guys need a complete overhaul to me.
Overhaul. And listen, and you know, not for nothing, I know a lot of Giant fans are like, I know we're going to talk about this. We're on the fence about getting Kenny Golladay, but the Jets weren't even in the talks about trying to get for him. And in my opinion,
from what I read, they said that his asking price was too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, they got all the money in the world and his asking price is too much. And he was actually the best thing out there. I mean, like, I don't really know what direction they're trying to go.
You're right. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But I guess they see something in Corey Davis for them to be his number one. Unless, listen, if they trade Sam Darnold and they get more picks, you probably get a good number one starter, rookie starter. And honestly, I've been saying this for weeks. The Jets need to draft Devontae Smith. Because if you draft Devontae Smith after getting Corey Davis, that is a good 1-2 combo as your two wide receivers, in my opinion. Now you take a little pressure off of Corey Davis because you have the rookie Heisman.
But yeah, but how are you gonna have a rookie take pressure off of a veteran? It's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, but what I'm saying? But here's the thing: Corey Davis is only his fourth year in. He's not like a veteran.
Well, veteran, you got over 3 years. You're a veteran, bro.
Like, let me tell you. Let me ask you this:
actually, your second year, you become a veteran. Honestly,
if you're a safety or a corner, right? Are you more likely to be afraid of Devontae Smith or Corey Davis? I mean, honestly, Devontae Smith is a beast. He's a beast. He's the first wide receiver in years to win a Heisman Trophy. There's a reason for that. I think he's going to be a stud.
He still has to prove himself on the NFL level, though, bro. These guys are pros. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're going to arrive on the scene, you're going to be keyed in on. So then he has to prove himself there. And that's like if you're putting him in a situation where he's going to be the number one. You know what I'm saying? But they're paying Corey Davis. What they gave him 3 years, $37 million. They paying him to be the number one because I don't think that anybody's even got that kind of money on the wide receiver core. So you know what I'm saying? Like
no, I don't know. I don't know, man. But I don't. You know, listen. As much like I said, I know I wanted Sam Darnold to be a Jet. If he's not going to, watch him be a stud somewhere else. Watch him be a freaking stud somewhere else. Because that's just what happens, right? That's just what happens, unfortunately.
Well, moving on to a better run organization, the New York Giants.
The New York Giants.
NFC East. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk to me, Lou.
So, Boogie, this NFC East division is going to be insane. And Steven Sezzy, you can go fuck yourself, bro. so hold on real quick. So Sezzy says that. How's Zack Gallen's elbow? Because we did a fantasy baseball draft last night, and I drafted Zack Allen from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he hurt his arm today. He's a pitcher. He hurt his arm today with batting practice.
Is that the True New York Sports fantasy?
The True? No. This is another one.
Another one? Okay.
But the True New York Sports one is on Friday. We have a True New York Sports League, guys, that we'll be posting about. But anyways, so he's trolling me right now. But anyways, the Giants signed Kenny Golladay. They re-signed Leonard.
Well, actually, Leonard Williams had a franchise tag, and then they worked out a deal with him so that they can open up more money for us.
Correct, and they just signed the cornerback from the Titans,
Adoree Jackson.
Right?
Yeah,
so
3 years, $39 million.
Right? Yeah, no, it's crazy.
I think Logan
Thomas.
I think he had recruited him or something like that.
I
think he got recruited. So I think they were really going after him. I think they're really trying to solidify their secondary because there were a lot of times in the game where especially when it comes to trying to close the game out, they were giving up a lot of deep passes. So I think that's what they're trying to solidify now. Defensively, like as far as linebackers and stuff like that, they did really well surprisingly last year defensively in that aspect. So I guess they're trying to tighten up the secondary. Offensively, this is the year Daniel Jones is going to have to prove himself. I believe they're surrounding him with an offense, like giving him offensive weapons where it's going to be make or break this year. And it might not even last the whole year. They might even be looking past it. Like if he doesn't show significant improvement, because they went and overpaid. I say overpaid. They went and overpaid for Golladay, right?
They did.
They signed Kyle Rudolph, right? Who is going to be a nice compliment with Evan Ingram. I mean, right now, I thought that they was going to get rid of Evan Ingram, but if since they're keeping him, it's looking like right now, and you're going to have, I'm assuming that Evan is going to still be the number one tight end, and Rudolph is going to be the backup. But I guess we'll see as time goes, because Rudolph is definitely a great blocking tight end.
Great.
And Evans has to shore his hands up. If he shores his hands up, then we don't got nothing to worry about in the tight end position. But
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And Saquon Barkley is arriving back. Hopefully he's nice and healthy. He was up here talking with Adrian Peterson since they had the same injury, you know, getting advice from him and stuff like that. So hopefully like our offensive line continues to grow like they did towards the end of last season. And then he can produce like the backup running backs that we had running. Hopefully he can produce like them. And then what they picked up Devontae Booker as a running back. So that kind of questions whether Wayne Gallman's going to be on the roster still next year.
I think so. I think Gallman's I think it's going to be your third. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think
I'm saying I'm not 100% sure. So like I said, and I think they picked up John Ross from the Bengals.
You did.
You know, it's another speedy dude. You know, like so they're trying to get Daniel Jones some weapons. So if Daniel Jones doesn't show any type of improvement this year, I think it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
We're living in a time where we're not going to give 5-6 years for a quarterback to develop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's this make or break this year for him and for the New York Giants offense.
No, I agree 1,000,000% with you, Boogie. And listen, you got to look at this too. Like, let's just say you don't know who the quarterback is for the Giants, right? And you say, hey, your running backs are Saquon Barkley, Wayne Gallman Jr. Your wide receivers are Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, and I always forget his name, Darius Slayton, right? Slayton. And then your tight ends are Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph. That is a really, really, in my opinion, above average type of offense that you have there, right?
It's enough offense to
get you by. Correct. It's not Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, but it's enough to get you to win football games. And
I think it's enough to challenge for the number one.
I agree. And listen, Kyle Rudolph, it is very hard to be a long-term tight end on a football team. If you notice, there's not really a lot of long-term tight ends. Kyle Rudolph was with the Minnesota Vikings for a very long time. So if he could give some advice to Evan Ingram, that would be great.
Yeah,
make him a better player on how to catch. Right, exactly. And Bill, Evan Ingram, as much as I agree with you on that, Evan Ingram is too big of a player to be just a slot wide receiver. Because one, he can't catch the fucking ball, right? He can't catch it.
And another thing too, to jump on that situation, if you put him into the slot receiver, then you take away his advantage. The advantage that he has is that he's faster than a normal tight end. Right. So and you know what I'm saying, and he's strong. He's strong. So that's what gives him the advantage at the tight end position. If you go and put him in a slot wide receiver position, then he loses his advantage.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't think I 100% agree with him being in the slot. Right. But I just think that he needs to shore his hands up. Like, listen, that's the number one thing.
It was the same thing. And listen, I don't mean to bring him up. Aaron Hernandez, right? When he was a big, fast tight end that could be a wide receiver, but he's stuck in the tight end position because he could knock people the fuck over and still catch the ball. And that's what you need from your tight end. You need somebody who can block.
And you need Gronkowski together. That was a deadly right there.
One of the best 1-2 tight end combos in the history of football, to be honest. You know what I mean? And yeah, he's got to get better at catching the football. That's simple as that. He's got to get better at catching the football. If he does, he's going to be a very dangerous tight end.
Right.
How he still made the All-Star game this year, the Pro Bowl, I have no idea.
Yeah, he was baffled himself. But let me ask you a question. Since I said what I said about Corey Davis, is Kenny Golladay the receiver to take? Like, he's going to be our number one.
Yeah.
He was hurt last year. He had a really, I think he had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard years prior to that. Is he somebody that we can rely on to be Daniel Jones's safety blanket? Is he Eli's Plaxico Burress for Daniel Jones?
So here's the thing. In my opinion, Matt Stafford is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, throwing-wise, right, and accuracy-wise. So I think Matt Stafford made Kenny Golladay a better player. So my argument here is that can Daniel Jones make Kenny Golladay do the same type of things he did when healthy when he was with the Detroit Lions? And that's going to be the main thing. I don't think it's more of that, can we rely on Kenny Golladay? I think it's more that, can we rely on Daniel Jones getting the ball to Kenny Golladay? Because Kenny Golladay has had a couple of game-winning touchdowns with Matt Stafford in Detroit. He's proven that he can get over 1,000 yards with the right quarterback. And Detroit wasn't a good team. Detroit didn't make the playoffs at all with Kenny Golladay.
Well, you got to remember, too, they have no defense at all. And they had no running game. That was the issue before they even got Adrian Peterson. Was surprisingly he did well there, but they didn't really have that much of a running game, and they didn't have no defense. So poor Stafford. I mean, he was just like in a bad situation. You know?
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is that he still was putting up numbers with Kenny Golladay, and they weren't winning football games.
Right.
So can Daniel Jones produce the same thing with Kenny Golladay? And Kenny Golladay has already said that he's looking forward to working with Daniel Jones like right away because he respects Daniel Jones's game, which is great that they got off to a good start. It wasn't like Kenny Golladay was like, I don't really know much about Daniel Jones. I've never really, I've only faced up against him once. He looks forward to making this work with Daniel Jones.
Oh, he got no choice because the Giants are paying him, so he better look forward to anybody.
I know that.
If I was the quarterback, he would have to say he's looking forward to working with me with the money that they gave him. So
I understand that, but it actually seemed legit. It didn't seem like his PR guy said like, "Hey, make sure you say that you want to play with Daniel Jones." Like you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like that. Like it seemed legit. And Bill, I know you don't like Daniel Jones, but I think you got to give him one more year. He played a hell of a half of a year. That's the second half of the year.
This is the year to determine whether he gets traded for a bag of chips or not.
Right, I agree. No, I agree with that. And he played really well. I think he played really well the second half of the year. And then he got hurt. When he didn't get hurt those last 3 games, he played horrible, but he was hurt prior to that.
But that was a little alarming to me. The fact that when he hurt his legs, that made his production go down so bad. So it's like he's really reliant on his legs. So at some point, he's going to have to, or somebody's going to have to pull him to the side and teach him to be a pocket passer when necessary. Like it's always great to have the threat of having, being able to run out of your problems. But he did not look good being a pocket passer. Like when he couldn't use his legs the way he wanted to, it was an obvious flaw. You know what I'm saying? And the offense really suffered at the end of the season with that. So that's something to keep in mind. You know what I'm saying? Especially if at some point if he hurts his legs again, because I'm pretty sure he'll be nice and healthy at the beginning of the season.
I agree. Right. Yep. Very true.
You
but listen, this division, real quick, let me talk about this division. So now you have Dak Prescott coming back healthy. He says he's ready to go. He's going to be ready for when the season starts. You got Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, still with Amari Cooper, still with Zeke Elliott.
We got Fitzmagic on the Washington football team.
Fitzmagic on the Washington football team with one of the best defenses in the league with all these young guys on defense. And a very impressive Jalen Hurts with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Which they haven't committed to yet, which is very strange to me. But
I know, but I think he's the move. He's going to be the move. I mean, because they got rid of Carson Wentz. They're not going to take somebody else. I just think that they're trying to get over this whole Carson Wentz thing. And they're trying to make other moves in the meantime. Right. That's what I think. But it's going to be a very good division, to be quite honest. And then, listen, you go to the AFC East, where the Jets and the Bills are, and listen, the Patriots made some moves. I don't think it's good.
Cam Newton. Like I said, like they're getting some of the guys back from last year. They made a little minor moves. I don't see them making anything significant. I don't see the Dolphins doing anything significant. The Jets, we already discussed. They don't like Corey Davis is really their big splash in the free agency market. So I don't see them. I think the Bills is going to have easy street in the AFC East once again.
I agree with that, and which is nice because they are a New York team.
That's right.
Technically. Yeah, so we'll see what's going on, but it's going to be a very, I think, amazing NFC East next year.
I just like all the movement in the free agency that football is producing right now. A lot of new faces, a lot of team changing. So I mean, that's exciting, I guess, right?
It's great. And listen, the Giants honestly are making the most moves out of everyone in the NFC. And anyone in the NFL right now, in my opinion.
I just don't want them making all these moves and then they end up still being trash.
No, I know.
Especially being a Giants fan. That'll be very disappointing because they are making a lot of moves. Gettleman's looking like he's knowing what he's doing a little bit. So we'll see.
I mean, listen, we all shitted on Gettleman for a very long time, and I gotta say, the last 2-3 years, he's actually gotten us some players. It looks like he kind of knows what he's doing now. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dave Gettleman. Appreciate it.
All right. All right, let's move on to a little spring training here. Yankees are on fire. I think they're playing right now.
Listen,
Phillies.
They look great, Boogie. They look great. Severino again is not coming back until the end of June, early July. But it does seem like we at least have our 4 starting pitchers, and it looks like, if anything, Montgomery is going to be our 5th. They've been playing great baseball. Gary Sanchez is back in form. He's batting 200 again.
They also said that he's going to be the starting catcher for Garrett Cole.
He is. So I guess Aaron Boone sees something in Gary Sanchez, that Gary Sanchez has earned that spot, per se.
Now, let me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
This hot spring training, do you think that this is going to does this really matter? Like, is this going to correlate to your regular season? Like, is this a real sign?
It's hard to say, Boog. I mean,
it's spring training, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it's spring training. Nobody knows how things are going to be come actual time. But here's the thing with spring training, you got to also remember people are also fighting for their jobs too, right?
True.
So it is.
So like, who's battling on the Yankees?
No, I'm just saying in general that they're still playing hard baseball. I think it's kind of already set in stone. I think the only one that's really kind of fighting for a spot right now is Jay Bruce. Because he's still trying to earn that DH spot. I think he earned the spot. I think he earned a spot on the team, period. Because I think he was just an invite, right? He was just an invite. He got a minor. He signed a minor league deal with them. Yeah. A minor league deal, and he's been playing great. I think he earned the spot too. But also remember the Yankees signed Brett Gardner, so they have Brett Gardner in the outfield. They got Stanton, you got Judge, you got Clint Frazier, right? So my thing is like, there might be some battling there as far as, I mean, Judge is still technically hurt and Stanton's just coming back from injury. I think you're still going to see them battling a little bit for the outfield spot, but I think their final 3, once everything is healthy, is going to be Frazier, Stanton, and Judge. And then you put Jay Bruce at DH, or if somebody needs a day or somebody needs a day off, then you put Brett Gardner in the outfield, you put Stanton or Judge at the DH spot. Like,
is Stanton like your real DH though?
Stanton is the real DH, yes, but I'm sure if somebody needs a day off, you put Stanton in right field, right, or left field, and he takes he played that position for how long with Miami. So I mean that's just but
he's become very, very injury prone. So I would try to keep him out of the field.
No, you try to keep him at the DH. No. I'm just saying in general, but that the outfielders, like for instance, when you go to the NL, I mean, I know that aren't they still trying to talk about having a?
No, I think it's done. They're going to keep it as is right now.
They're going to keep it as is, right. So then he's going to have to play the outfield if he wants to play, right? So that's where I'm getting at with that. But no, the team looks good. I would love another pitcher. I would love to not have Montgomery as my 5 because he's always going to have a 4-something ERA, and I just don't trust him enough. I really don't trust him enough. I think Kluber is going to be the key in this whole thing.
And Kluber, like I said, I watched him on Cleveland. That dude could be lights out, and that dude can give up everything. So
no, I know.
So you got to be careful with that Kluber guy.
And when he won his Cy Youngs, he was in his late 20s, early 30s. Right. So now he's like 33, 34 years old. It's one of those things where it's like He doesn't have the stuff he
lightning
used
in
to
a
have.
bottle. He can try to catch lightning in a bottle.
That's exactly it. Exactly right.
But just look at it this way: you guys' offense is supposed to be elite. So with the offense, maybe you can erase some of the mistakes that the pitchers make.
Listen. Gary Sanchez, DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres, Gio Urshela, Stanton, Judge, Gardner, Frazier. I mean, it's Bruce. You just keep going and going. They have a really good offensive lineup, and I really hope to see great things from Gary Sanchez this year because I drafted him in my league. Right. So he better step it up because I took him 8th round, and I need him to produce. So you hear that, Gary Sanchez? I'll kill you if you don't do well for me in fantasy. All right, but no, they look good. So, but what about your New York Mets, Didn't Mr. Lindor hit a grand slam the other day, sir?
Oh yes, he did, man. He's almost looking like he's ready for the regular season.
He really does.
You want to take a look at that?
Let's take a look at let's take a look at this line drive, knew it off of his bat, grand slam home run from Francisco Lindor.
Hold on. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
Let's go.
Second home run this spring loads him up for Lindor.
Oh, you hear the sound of that?
If it's fair, it's
he showed a barrel. Just take that thing out of there with an easy, nice, sweet swing.
See, and people like look at that. Is
he's not an extra strong guy. He just has a great swing.
He has a great swing. Exactly right. Look at that. Boom. Exactly. I love when hitters don't do the one-handed barrel. Yeah, he threw. He flipped that like right after. He knew it. But I love when batters don't do the one thing. Like after they swing, they take the barrel into one hand. I love that Mike Trout kind of like
keep the two hands.
They keep the two hands.
I swing.
I love that. Yeah. I love that swing, and he has that kind of swing. And I love it. He's gonna be a great addition. And now there's talks about him getting $300 million, right, Boog?
The Mets offered him a little slightly under $300 million for 7 years. Then they counter offered with they said a little over. Well, I would say a little over. They said over 300. So I guess they're gonna find their middle ground. And like I said, as long as they're in the same ballpark with each other, I'm confident that they'll reach an agreement. Also, too, the Mets also offered Michael Conforto a qualifying offer as well. So now they're trying to get their ducks in a row, and that's positive. That's positive for me because if they're trying to solidify these guys before the season starts, then we ain't gonna have that distraction during the season, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they can worry about Syndergaard after they take care of these two guys because those are the two guys you gotta take care of. And also on a negative tone, Carrasco, who was supposed to be part of solidifying our starter rotation, goes and tears his hamstring. So he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks minimum. So now we have to start utilizing our depth already. And this is what the thing. We was trying to take pride in having depth, but now we got to start using it already because Lugo's not going to be back. Not yet. Syndergaard's not going to be back until June. End of June, maybe. So now the guys that were fighting for the 5th spot, now things is going to be moved up. I believe Rojas already confirmed that Peters is going to be our 4. So now they said either Yamamoto or Lucchesi could either fight for this 5th spot, or they might go with the option of having somebody in the bullpen start and then do a committee for the 5th spot. So now, like I said, now we're playing, Russian roulette with our pitchers now. So that's something to look for, and hopefully we can get by till everybody start getting back as far as the pitch is concerned.
I mean, listen, here's the thing with Carlos Carrasco, too. He had Tommy John surgery 2 years ago, right? That, and I know this is his hamstring, which is not obviously in his shoulder, but obviously
he had elbow soreness prior to this, too.
Correct. That's what I was saying.
And he tore his hamstring running sprints. This wasn't even throwing related.
Right. So he's obviously injury prone, and listen, a healthy Carlos Carrasco gets you 200 plus strikeouts a year. He did it with Cleveland. It just sucks that he's not going to be able to start the year now, and you were banking on him being your number 3, your number 4, right? Because you had DeGrom, you had Stroman, and you had who's your other guy?
Which one this year?
Yeah.
We got this DeGrom, Stroman, and
Syndergaard.
Syndergaard, but Syndergaard is
hurt.
He's not coming back to end of June.
Right, so you're gonna have to use Joey Lucchesi now. It looks like, and Peterson and Peterson.
Well, Peterson is going to be the number 40 set.
Right. So, but I think that's a good move. Peterson's good. I like Peterson. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, I think he's decent.
So, but it just sucks that happened. You know, It sucks. It's awful. But all right. Anyways,
let's attack the elephant in the room. Let's just attack the elephant in the room. I've been very emotional. I mean, if you guys follow Instagram, you guys will know, like, after every Knick game, I jump on, and I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, that last game, it's like Philadelphia 76ers don't have Embiid, right? And we have the opportunity to defeat this team twice. And we had an opportunity to defeat the Nets. So, I mean, obviously, going into the second half, we knew we were going to have a tough schedule. Okay, no problem. The Knicks, even though each team that we faced have been shorthanded, we were shorthanded as well. So I don't want to use that as an excuse because we were also shorthanded. We played all the way to the end, and it's getting a little frustrating the way these ends are arriving because now we're getting into a situation where we're not finishing games because we don't have a go-to. And we got to battle the referees. Like it's starting to get a little frustrated. I'm happy that, and I'm excited, and I'm very entertained that we're in games like this. But now it's like we're battling ourselves and we're battling the refs. And I don't know. What do you think about this, Luke? Because I'm getting a little frustrated here.
So here's the thing. A lot of people were saying that the Knicks, that Randall traveled on that call that Kyrie blocked. Right. A lot of people were saying he didn't. Then yesterday's game. The game against the 76ers, Randall's arm was on his back when he didn't even flinch. Tobias Harris didn't even flinch. Boogie made a great point. He didn't even flinch, even though he was on his back. And what was the spread of yesterday's game, Boog?
1.
And what did the Knicks lose by, Boog?
1.
You can't make it up. And it sucks because, you know, the Knicks had such good momentum before the All-Star break. And now they've lost 2 really kind of big games, in my opinion. And the Atlanta Hawks have been killing it. And now the Atlanta Hawks are the 4th seed.
Since they fired their coach. Now
Since they fired their coach.
Fire.
Right.
But going back to this 76er game, man. Like I just want to let's just talk about how we definitely lack a go-to scorer. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like Randall, he's our guy, right? He's our go-to guy right now, right? So we're relying on him. But when teams are focusing on just him, the other guys are not making the shots. As we've been watching here, like Burks was on fire, RJ Barrett was playing great. But at the end of the day, when we need key shots from them, they're not hitting it. They're not hitting it. They're not those guys. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at this 76ers game that I got queued up here, right? Let's take a look here. This is the foul.
I didn't see a foul.
This is the foul here, right? Now look at Tobias Harris already jumping up for the rebound, and they called this foul on Randall.
Watch Randall down low.
Look right here.
Watch Randall's hand
against Harris.
See, that's minimal contact. Yeah. And Clyde Frazier gets on my last nerves. Talk about he got obliterated. He ain't getting no obliterated.
Watch Randall coming into your screen as his hand
is frustrating.
Harris.
And this is to determine
a game.
That would be Randall's 4th foul.
Randall is like, get the hell out of here with that shit. Nah, that's crazy, man. That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's crazy. And like I said, very minimal contact there. Tobias Harris didn't even know something hit him, touched him.
And then he still had the opportunity to win the game because it was like 5 seconds left after the free throws, right? 5 seconds left. Knicks is down. He runs up the court. He gets a shot. It goes halfway in and it comes out. We lose, right? So, like I said, he's the guy that we got to rely on. Like, and matter of fact, they inbounded it all the way in the backcourt, and he had to dribble all the way up court to make that shot. With I think it was like by the free throw line, and he almost made it to win. But come on, like you can't make that call to determine it. And I'm gonna give you a little perspective here. They had 2 referees that game, right? Because their 3rd referee was on the COVID protocol, so they had 2 referees that game. So people were already complaining because people were getting fouled left and right that game, and they weren't calling. So if you're in an environment where fouls are not being called, that call cannot be made at the end of a game.
And not
it
at
just
all.
can't be made.
No.
And that's the frustrating part of it, you know?
And how many times in other sports do referees and whatnot let them play out when it gets to the final couple of minutes a little bit? Like, they know there's going to be, they know that tensions are high and that adrenaline is rushing. It's not like he threw him on the floor. Tobias Harris, it looked like didn't even know that somebody touched him in the back. Did you even see Tobias Harris there? He looked around saying, where was he? Like he was like
trying to see what the whistle was about because he didn't even know.
Because he didn't even get touched. So you got to let them play a little bit. And especially, this is a rivalry team, right? It's the Philadelphia 76ers. It's not like it's
They said that Simmons has never lost to the Knicks in his career. That's terrible.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
That is horrible.
You want to know what else is horrible? Let's look at the 3-point shot that Julius Randle did to go into overtime.
Let's see this. Off the backboard. Oh, my Lord. How did he get away with that? Not a great shot, but you know what?
But look, if this is what we're relying on, this is our go-to. We're going to rely on Randle being stuck in the corner, trying to get loose, and then get an off-the-rim three-pointer. I'm happy and we're down, but this is where our go-to is. Look, now we got a blunder, chance to win the game. Look.
He had so much time still, too.
This is what...
He had so much time still, too. He had 2 seconds left. He could have honestly, he probably could have had another step or two there. And
he had enough time to set. He had enough because the guy was already on his heels trying to defend him. So he had enough time to stop and set and shoot the three. No,
right.
You know what I'm saying? He got to shoot it off the run. You know darn well he's not making that. So, you know, it's looking a little frustrating. Like, you know, the Knicks are playing well. And look at the defense. Like, I don't know if you looked at it before overtime happened. They both were under 100. So they play good defense. It's just that they don't have that guy that can put us over the top offensively.
And Ray Smart says, trust the process. Of course. Of course. Now, listen.
I'm trying to say good game to you, Ray Smarts. At some point, the Knicks got to defeat y'all at some point.
At some point. And listen, there's also rumors that Andre Drummond is in the talks with the Knicks right now. We read a report that Andre Drummond, you know, Kevin Knox and New Orleans Noel might be. Listen, if somebody said to me right now, Lou, I want to trade you Andre Drummond for Kevin Knox and New Orleans Noel, sold. I'm sorry, I like New Orleans Noel, but to get a chance to get Andre Drummond to make a playoff run here, just to make it interesting, you can't say no to that.
And hopefully, because since he's a free agent at the end of the year, hopefully he'll want to like resign. But like I said, let's see what they do. As long as they don't do nothing stupid, as long as they and like I said, and that's still not what I'm looking for as far as go-to scorer. Like Drummond's not the go-to scorer. I'm just saying,
no.
He helps definitely, but I don't want to trade pieces away where they give us a chance to actually make moves. But
yeah, but is Kevin Knox and New Orleans Noel pieces that the Knicks plan on keeping? Probably not.
Well, are those pieces that can be used to get us a shooter? You see what I'm saying?
I don't know about Kevin. Listen, what else are you going to get besides do you think you're going to get a better caliber player than Andre Drummond for New Orleans Noel and Kevin Knox? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. I really think that this is if their opportunity is there, you got to take this trade. You got to take it. And listen, Andre Drummond is a putback guy. Andre Drummond is a double-double too. Right. And he's your putback guy for the most part. He's your guy that gets the rebound and puts it back up. And that's what you need. The Knicks need that guy. And I'm not saying Mitch Robinson is not capable of that. He is. But it has to go with, you know, Andre Drummond is probably better at that than Mitch Robinson. Mitch Robinson is better on defense than Andre Drummond.
Right. So
I mean that's how you guys see it. And now
let's go to the Nets, man.
I was just gonna say let's go to the other side.
Let's go to a winning situation because I was frustrated with the Knicks.
No. Real quick though, a lot of people talk about why doesn't the Brooklyn Nets get talked about more basketball wise than the New York Knicks?
That's only New York though. Because nationally, the Nets are getting talked about.
No, I know. I'm talking about New York people. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Because Kyrie Irving and the New York and the Brooklyn Nets are a fucking joke. That's why. Kyrie Irving is taking 3 personal days to not play NBA basketball due to family matters. His birthday is tomorrow. Okay, so that is how I am looking at this right now. Okay, his birthday is tomorrow, and now he has family members. Oh, James Harden averaging a triple-double the last 10 games. They'll be fine without me. They don't need me.
They don't need Durant. They don't need me. Hey, we got Blake Griffin. Now I definitely could take some days off.
Right. Speaking of Blake Griffin, Boogie, what did Blake Griffin do for the first time since 2019 the other day?
Something that I already predicted when they finally said that they were going to sign him.
And
the basketball.
Why don't you show him right now what Blake Griffin did? Look, his first point
as a New York, as a Brooklyn Net.
As a Brooklyn Net. Let's watch this.
Blake Griffin at the 5.
His same head fake.
Griffin on the move.
Dunk. First time since 2019, the man dunks the basketball.
And look how happy everyone is. He gives a nice big smile on that too. He's so happy about that. No, it's but listen, James Harden, first off,
all of a sudden his knees feel good. He can dunk now.
All of a sudden, I'm telling you, it all goes back to your surroundings too. If you're hurt and you're on a losing team, you're not going to be motivated to play. He is finally on a winning team since he has been with the Los Angeles Clippers. He looks motivated. He looks good. He looks in shape. He looks great.
If you're not motivated going into a championship team, then you're never going to be motivated.
No, I agree. But listen, the injury the other day with LeBron James sucks. Okay, you never want to see that happening. But
they went after that poor kid too, like he did.
I know.
He swore he didn't, but now that just takes the Lakers a whole nother notch down.
A whole notch down. And what I was getting at with LeBron James getting hurt is that this might move up James Harden's chance at winning MVP this year because
look, Embiid is not playing because he's injured.
Right, exactly.
Now LeBron is injured, and this guy stays healthy and keep playing.
Right. Yeah. No. Crazy. As
out of shape he is, he still continues to play.
Right. Yeah. No. He put on that. I'm convinced he put on that fat suit, bro. He put on that fat suit.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. Rest in peace to Elgin Baylor. He passed away today.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Elgin Baylor. Yeah, old Los Angeles Laker, right? Yeah. That's 86 years old. Natural causes. That sucks. Yeah. Great best retired number, I think, from
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, sucks. But yeah, no. Listen, the Nets don't need Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving right now. Come playoff time, sure, they're gonna need him.
I just hope that they don't burn out poor James Harden.
I know it's so crazy too because I mentioned this last week too that at the beginning of this trade, the Houston Rockets were playing better without him, and the Brooklyn Nets were playing better with him, right? And now the Houston Rockets are on a 20-game losing streak.
They are depressed over there.
Depressed. John Wall.
Have you seen their interviews, man? It's bad.
No, I haven't. But
I felt sorry for Silas, the coach, man. That dude is like speechless.
Right.
I mean, listen. Situation.
And listen, it's not like you have bad guys on your team either, right? You got Woods, you got Oladipo.
But remember, he was hurt for a long time. He just got back.
Right, and you got Wall though. Wall's been playing.
Wall got injured too with his knee. You know what I'm saying? He was playing some, but then he got injured, and then Oladipo, he was hurt. He wasn't playing. Because they had like a whole bunch of the G League guys. They had a whole bunch of G League guys playing at one point. So they're in bad shape, man. Like
they also had a G League guy playing the slam dunk contest, so that's great too. You know, I mean, it's just I mean, I'm not Houston. I'm just saying in general that they're using a lot of minor league basketball players per se for the season. It seems.
I think they said there's only like 42 people in the whole NBA who's played every NBA game this year so far. So that tells you a lot. You know,
right? I understand with COVID too and everything. It sucks, right? It's crazy. But listen, the Brooklyn Nets are playing great basketball. They're winning without Kyrie. They're winning without Durant. Durant expected to come back sometime next week. Boogie.
Yes, sir.
Is this team still your championship team this year?
Oh, even more now. Even more now. Like I said, they were, to me, it was no question that they're going to get to the chip. But if these guys, if the Lakers are going to be hurt like this, if these guys don't get healthy before it's time, then the Nets are going to have an easy road, man. Honestly.
Right.
But like I said, that's all predicated to if Durant is going to be back to himself and they're completely healthy. And they also have to Blake Griffin can only help. He can't hurt. He can only help. So if Blake Griffin ends up getting acclimated to their offense, Jesus, like what else? How much better can they be? Because this kid Claxton, just when we was talking about they need a center, Claxton, who wasn't even playing prior to all this, all of a sudden now is a godsend to them. Because now DeAndre Jordan is reborn, and then you got Claxton, so now you have no drop off there.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So like just as bad. That's why they haven't gone for Drummond and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they really don't need him now.
Yeah,
you know, they got these high flyers centers that can run up and down the court. Like they're complete, man. Like I said, all they need, and they're getting better defensively. As much as everybody was trying to complain how bad they are defensively, they're getting better defensively. But on a side note, I must say, after the Knicks went wire to wire with Orlando ended up playing the Nets right after that and beat the Nets.
Right.
That's because the Knicks wore them down defensively, and they saw the Nets defense and say, hey, this defense is
we got to take advantage. They're tired.
Yeah,
they're tired right
this
now.
This defense is way easier than that Knicks defense we was playing against.
Listen, and the Knicks still got the best defense in the league. So assuming that the Knicks make the playoffs, right? Like, I still think they're going to be good. I still think they're going to be good.
What's up, JR?
Yo, JR Johnson, what's going on, brother? Yeah, hope all is well. Crazy. I think the Knicks, listen, here's the thing with the Knicks, too. They're only a game technically out of the playoff run, right? Because it's 10 teams now make the playoffs. 7 plays 10 in a one-game playoff. 8 plays 9 in a one-game playoff. And then they go to the 7th and 8th seed, right? So as a Knicks fan, you want to avoid that. So the goal, in my opinion, is to get to the 6th seed. So you guarantee that 7-game matchup.
And they have to win these close games that they're losing. See, the Nets, they're cruising, man. That's why Kyrie's allowed to do all this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they already know they got a cushion. They're like, basically, they're only keying on the Bucks and the 76ers. That's all they're keying on. So, and the 76ers are still winning even with Embiid being out. So right now, they're kind of doing their thing. So, and look at this, Green. All of a sudden, Green is starting to play good. Like,
right.
I don't know. You know, like 76ers, they're clicking on all hills right now.
No,
so,
they are. They are.
You know
and Jerome, I don't think the Nets get Drummond. I really don't. I don't think they.
Yeah,
I don't think you need them.
Yeah, look, they got like I said a couple of minutes ago. We got Claxton and you got DeAndre Jordan. You don't really need them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Joe, you just missed our whole thing with the Knicks.
Oh man, don't get me started with them refs, man. We went crazy. With them. Those two refs were blind.
So the Knicks are now 20-21 when they could easily be 22-19 and be 3 games over 500. And listen, the one thing that I will say is that this should motivate the Knicks, right? Motivate them to maybe not make these games as close. Like that's how you got to look at it, right? Like
hey Biggs, it's pack it up anyway with the Nets, bro. Honestly, they
no,
don't
it's pack
to solidify that.
The Nets do not need Andre Drummond. You do not need Andre Drummond. The Knicks could use Andre Drummond and Mr. Alex Gordon from the Orlando Magic just requested a trade. He wants out of Orlando. So who knows what happens there too? Maybe one of the New York teams get him. You know, but
yeah, Gordon, like he showed you that his jump shot is so like inconsistent. So for him to request a trade, I mean, that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a big significant. That's not going to push the needle on no team. So I think significant, to be honest with you.
No, but I wouldn't mind having Alex Gordon.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having anybody that's going to help us, but he's still not that go-to guy that the Knicks need as far as a go-to scorer. Like I said, you got a Nets team who they have tons of go-to scorers. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Knicks, who is just Julius Randle, who I mean, he's our star player, but is he our go-to scorer? You know what I'm saying? He's had opportunities to do it, and he hasn't done it. So, like I said, we need a go-to scorer. But I'm not, like I said, I'm going to show patience because that's what Knicks fans as a whole don't normally do, is have patience for a team that's building. So I'm going to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of me getting blowout losses that I'm used to, I'm getting close game losses with the helps of refs, and I'm going to accept it, you know, and I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to pray that things are going to get better. I'm going to pray that Leon Rose and Thibodeau is going to make things better for us. So right now, I'll just watch the Brooklyn Nets do their thing, win a championship, probably not be the best team in New York, you know what I'm saying, fan-wise, and That's it.
And go from there.
That's it.
And listen, we're almost done with the basketball season. There's only about 28 to 30 games left in the season. So it's coming crunch time now, guys, where every game matters now. And especially
everything's tight.
From the fourth to the 12th seed is only a 3-game difference. It's not like that there's a gap. Like, listen, I'll tell you right now, your 1, 2, and 3 in the East are going to be the 76ers, the Nets, and the Bucks in any particular order. They're only a game out of each other, right?
Yeah, because look at, like you said, look at Atlanta. Atlanta, since they fired their coach, they're on fire.
8-game winning streak.
They're on fire. Miami Heat's trying to make little small moves here and there.
You know what's been really disappointing, Boogie? The Toronto Raptors have been really disappointing.
They are getting slaughtered every game right now.
They're 15 and 26.
They want to get rid of Kyle Lowry. They want to get rid of him. So they got madness happening over there. Orlando, they're falling because remember they were doing really well beginning of the season too. They're losing a lot of games. So like I said, teams like that is making me think that all right, the Knicks definitely have a shot.
Right. No, and listen, I'm not saying that the Knicks aren't going to make the playoffs. I do think. I just don't want them to be in that 1-game situation.
That's a goal that we have to look and hopefully.
But here's the thing: if the Knicks are the 6th seed, it honestly, on paper right now, it looks like that they would play the Bucks, right? And I like their chances against the Bucks because they played them pretty. They got blown out that one game. But they also played them really well the game after that. So I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, who would you rather play in the first round? Would you rather play the 76ers, the Bucks, or the Nets? I would rather play the Bucks.
All of them are tough teams, bro. So, like I said, I don't foresee the Knicks even getting out the first round. So that's not something that I'm even, like push it to. My only goal right now is to make the playoffs and as a bonus goal, make it in the top 16. Outside of that, I'm not even looking for that. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That I'm not looking. You say because you set yourself up for disappointment. Why do that to yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like let's just pray for what we can achieve and then be happy.
Right. And speaking of basketball, the NCAA tournament, we only got one New York team left, Boogie, and that's our Syracuse team, correct?
Yeah. We got Buddy Buckets, man. Like Boeheim was, obviously when you have a father-son situation happening on a team, they think that the son is going to get the preferential treatment, but that the kid is definitely showing that he's the best player on the team. He's shooting lights out. Ironically, against West Virginia yesterday, he couldn't make a shot at the first half, but neither could West Virginia. So at halftime, for what I was heard, Jerry McNamara, who is Carmelo Anthony's wing guy, had gave him a pep talk, took him out, yo, just shoot it. It doesn't matter if you miss out 200 shots, just shoot it. So what did he do? He put Syracuse on his back, carried him to the victory for another upset. This March Madness has been so exciting just because there's been a record-breaking amount of upsets. So, I don't know if it had anything to do with this bubble or the COVID, but this has been an exciting brand of basketball that I've been watching. So right now, since the Syracuse is the only New York team or local team that we got going on, I mean, we got to go for them. In my opinion, I think Gonzaga is probably going to take it all because they got a tough team and their point guard is probably going to be top 3 in the lottery. But Buddy Buckets, man, he's shooting his way trying to make the league. I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna have to say honestly, Boogie, I think Butler takes this whole thing. I really like this team. They're a really good dynamic team.
I know you said Baylor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Baylor. I'm sorry, Baylor.
Like Butler.
No, Butler's not even in it, right? No, Baylor. I meant Baylor. Sorry. I think they can give Gonzaga a run for their money. I know Gonzaga's undefeated, but I think that Chris
Young McNamara. That's basically what he is.
This is a tournament of upsets. This is a tournament of upsets, and I think that if Gonzaga plays Baylor, I think Baylor takes it down. I just that's just how I feel. I think Baylor takes the whole thing. And yeah, Uncle Vin, you're right. Loyal Chicago, right? They beat they beat a 9th seed and they beat a 2 seed, and that old lady, who's that? Their mascot? That old lady? Who is that lady? She's like 95 years old. Cheering them on for I think 60 plus years. Goes to every game. Like it's awesome. Like I would love to see them do well. and for her to, keep pushing on in this tournament. But
watching Oral Roberts win.
Right.
And what's that other team? Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian, right? They're in around the Sweet 16 now. Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Mother Superior, right? Yeah. It's crazy, but no, it should be awesome to see what's going on the next couple of weeks with this. The last couple of games, I think, are tonight. They're going on right now, and then we don't have any March Madness stuff until Saturday. So,
that's right, Joe. Michigan losing tonight, a whole nother upset, like upsets galore, man. I think what the record was. I think the total record for a tournament is 13, if I'm not mistaken. And now, like I said, tons of upsets. And to be clear, I believe an upset is supposed to be classified as somebody that's 5 ranks down below or more.
Right.
And there's tons of upsets.
Although Joe is saying that Michigan is going to lose tonight. They're only up by 1 at half right now.
Oh, okay.
They're only up by he thinks they're going to lose.
I'm not going to watch that game. They possibly can, man. Like any team could lose. I just feel good about Gonzaga, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's easy to feel good about a team that's 28-0. I mean, I get it, Boog. Like, let's pick the front runner here. Jesus
but I kind of was thinking that, going into the the March Madness anyway. So
see you later, Uncle Vin. Thank you for watching, Uncle Vin. Yeah, no, I know. It's but it should be interesting. Should be very interesting. And we've had a very, very crazy week of sports. And I really hope, and just to recap everything, I really hope that we figure out this whole Deshaun Watson thing too. Because I would listen, if he did exactly what he did, then he deserves every punishment would happen. But if he didn't happen and this is all bullshit, I really hope that the league does something about like these allegations. And I feel bad for the dude if that's the case, because like I said, if this was a thing that only 1 or 2 girls was coming out for this thing, now all of a sudden it's 22 girls out of nowhere. Like, that's a lot. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. So I hope it's not true. But to end the show, we want to make sure you guys check out our new shirt. The Knicks are back, B. We got a shirt coming out. Make sure if you pre-order with Boogie or myself or Biggs, the Knicks are back indeed. They are in the playoffs.
And for the Nets fans, no, we did not forget about you. We have net shirts that's coming out as well. We got we getting right back in the swing of things now. The sports is back. We got our fans back. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely get back to going to the games again. So just look out for all that.
Yep, and what they're doing now, I don't know if you guys know this, they have a tent right outside of MSG. So if you decide to go to a game, you can get a rapid test done, and they let you know right away whether or not you have COVID, so that way you can go to the games. So that's pretty cool, right?
Are they going to do that for the baseball games too? I'm not aware.
I'm not too sure about baseball, but I know they're doing that for basketball games. And obviously, it's only like a 25% capacity right now, but they are doing that, which is great. So slowly getting back.
I would love to get to opening day for Mets. I would love to.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. And I would love that. We should go. We should try to go.
Well, I usually go, but this after this COVID stuff, so I want to make sure that I'll be able to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. But,
all right, we'll figure it out though. Figure it out. That sounds good.
And you already know I'll go live.
Right. Of course you're gonna go live. Of course. Right. But anyways, Boogie.
And once again, rest in peace to Elgin Baylor. Once again. You know what I'm saying? He's an NBA great. So, sad news, but rest in peace to Elgin Baylor. Once again.
And today was episode number 24, guys. So that means we had officially, if you're going by 4 weeks every month, we had our 6-month anniversary of the show today, Boogie. So congratulations to us continuing this on for 6 months. We look forward to doing more. Episode number 25 next week. Maybe we'll do a giveaway or something, Boog. Maybe we get a certain amount of people. We'll do a giveaway. We'll give a shirt away, something like that. Maybe we'll have a certain guest on we'll have a guest or something. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna do something special for episode number 25 next week, though, guys. So, Boogie, anything else you want to add before we end the show?
No, sir.
All right.
Syracuse.
Go Syracuse. Go Knicks.
I'm a St. John's fan, by the way. But since Syracuse is the only team we got, go
right, exactly. And listen, we want to thank you guys all for watching. Thank you guys for supporting us. Go Rangers, I guess. I mean, they've been winning, but I mean, they can't compete to the Islanders right now. They can't compete to the Islanders. So it's I'm a Ranger fan. I'm just spitting truth right now. They're not even in the same part. But all right, guys. Until next week, we'll see you guys for episode number 25. Boogie Hollis, Lou DiMartino reporting in. Thank you guys again, and we will see you guys next week.